Yeah, if I can.
The time is now 7:40 p.m. Health, Education, and Welfare Committee is now open. Can I have a acceptance of the minutes for June 4th?
Make a motion to accept.
Motion made, accepted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Accept the minutes for June 18th.
Second.
Made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 1, PCO 14-18, ordinance amending Article 5, foreclosure of owner-occupied homes. This is for second passage. I believe the information is in there. It was taken up, so I ask for approval. Oh, sorry, yes, Councilman McAllister.
Out of abundance of caution, I am abstaining from this vote. I'm on the board at Rhode Island Housing, and they do mediation. So to continue, I did it last time. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to abstain.
Thank you, Councilman. This is, again, just a brief description before I put it out for questions. As we all know, it was discussed this evening, 2008, 2013, we had a housing crisis where a lot of houses were abandoned and owners were just kind of forced out of their house. No recommendations were made, no mediation was made for payments on the mortgages. What this does is this makes it mandatory for there to be a mediator to work between the bank and the mortgage holder. Are there any questions from the committee? Questions from council? Questions from the public? Hearing none, may I have a motion?
Move favorable action on PCO 14-18.
For second passage, motion made, seconded by myself. All those in favor?
Aye.
What abstain? Thank you, Council. PCO 8-18, amendment to ordinance prohibiting smoking in all schools. Councilwoman Travis.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This, many years ago, I put in the no smoking at public schools, and to this day, the ordinance is hanging in on the high schools. But today, kids don't smoke cigarettes. They do the other stuff. They do the vaping and all that other stuff.
Madam Councilwoman.
Oh, favorable action.
I'm sorry. Oh, well, it says right here, not drafted yet.
No, mine's drafted. Isn't it drafted?
Oh, it is drafted?
Oh, no, yeah, we was going to put amendments,
right.
I thought.
Okay, no, that's okay. I apologize. Thank you, Madam Councilwoman. It is drafted, so
Yeah.
you move for favorable. I didn't mean to cut you off. If you wanted to finish, please.
Yeah, it was favorable action. Okay.
Thank you.
So I don't know if anybody has any questions on it. Basically, this was going to deal with electronic, nicotine delivery systems. This is the stuff they use all different kinds.
Yeah. Okay, thank
And
you.
this is, if it helps, this was a request from the police department, the resource officers that are in the police schools, and they worked with us with the substance task force. This was brought up and asked me to put this resolution in.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. Are there any questions from the committee? Questions from the council? Questions from the public? Hearing none, may I have a... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Make a motion for favorable action on PCO 8-18.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 3, PCR 57-18, a resolution supporting gun-free schools. Councilwoman Travis.
Yes, thank you. I just lost it. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. Again, this one is, I know we had, resolutions that say gun-free schools. But this is addressing some of the ones that have no problem with people that can carry firearms. This is only to allow law enforcement to be in the schools with guns. And I know a lot of people might think that that's something wrong, but I know from Warwick Vets High School, I had to actually call the police one time because they had a sign out there that said gun-free school, but yet there was a big tree, and if I didn't myself find out from kids that came to tell me, they used to hang things in the tree, and they used to have people go and get it. And I can tell you right now, that tree no longer is there. But we have to address this now, and this is one thing that is going to allow concealed carriers not to be able to go into school grounds. Right now they can. This would help gun-free schools.
Thank you. I have a quick question, Councilwoman. So an educator myself, but also as a blue card carrying supporter of concealed carry, I feel that this kind of hamstrings before the federal government and the state government can come up with recommendations. Well, I just state, you gave in proof that it's the state, but I know that in discussion at the federal level, there was some discussion about possibly hiring, arming either the veterans or having people in there, allowing teachers who are trained. And so is this something that might be a preemptive, like prevent any federal from coming down?
It's something that was just going to be discussed. That I also heard that too, but I think this was basically just going to agree with the state to see what they all are going to finally come up to for a solution. But again, you know, the more guns you got in school, the more problems we could have.
In the wrong hands, I absolutely agree. Is there any, I didn't see anything addressing mental illness or mental health. I see some statistics saying outside of school areas.
There was a Rhode Island Association of School Principals, the Rhode Island School Superintendent Association, the Rhode Island Association of School Committees, all of them are on board with this. But I mean, if you want to hold it to check about mental, I mean, I would hope that its guns are not going to fall in the hands of someone that's ill. But again, we always got to look at the fact, even with teachers, how do you know a student wouldn't overcome a teacher and take a gun away from them if they know that teacher was carrying a gun?
How do we know a police officer won't charge the school? You're absolutely right.
So there's a lot of issues.
Okay, and that wasn't, and that's just, I'm just going on the previous, I would ask with the, I would like to hold it until I hear more guidance from the Federal Department of Education as well as the federal law enforcement going on and then carried down to the state. Is there any input or questions from the committee? Yes, Councilman.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a question. Councilwoman Travis, so am I clear to understand that anyone with a concealed carry permit would not be allowed to carry on school property?
Right now it says, right now it says that currently they can carry firearms in the school grounds. And whereas, you know, we're just saying that basically we want it to be a gun-free school.
So you're changing the language to prohibit anyone who has a permit to carry a concealed weapon from being on school grounds.
Right now.
Any school grounds. It could
on
be
school grounds,
the ball
yes.
field, it could be the track, it could be any place.
Anybody but law enforcement.
And if someone with a carry permit did happen to venture on to city property for any reason, what would be the recourse to that person?
It doesn't address what would happen to them, because that's if case the law enforcement was to find out, I guess. It says education leadership, let me see.
Mr. Chairman, I think that...
that's why, I mean, I don't have a problem holding it one more, you know, one.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to... I want to hear from the public.
Well, I'll ask the public as well, but I would agree with holding this because also it was a concealed carry that chased down that church shooter and stopped the church shooter from killing more people. So concealed carry, and I want to be clear on this. I mean, everyone loses their mind when you say guns in schools, but concealed carry, the requirements are they're federal, state, and municipal. There's 3 levels of requirement. And so therefore, to me, it just seems like this is kind of hindering the process that we already have in place. And instead of addressing the issue, we're just kind of putting a cover over it. So I would, and that's how I feel now, but I am absolutely open to looking further into this, to reading more about it. And
I just want to make sure we try to keep our kids safe.
Agreed. So I think we're on the same page as far as that goes, Councilwoman. I think it's just the direction. Any questions from the committee? Further questions, comments? Questions, comments from the council? Question, comments from the public?
Stacia Hyler, Ward 9. I think if we're concerned about keeping children safe, you definitely would want to have a concealed carry holder that should be able to be on school property protecting those children, and not just solely an active duty police officer, because this doesn't even take in mind if it's a retired officer or a retired peace officer. So what happens to them? Are they no longer qualified all of a sudden because they're not active duty? Not only that, think about the domestic violence victim who's a concealed carry holder. You make her a sitting duck when she's sitting there watching her son or daughter play their favorite sport, and the former abuser says, oh, okay, I'm going to go get her because I know that she can't carry, she's sitting there on the bleachers. That's where the culpability lies, right there for a domestic violence victim. And I couldn't agree with you more, Councilman Corley, for what you, for what you said. As far as this resolution, again, another outdated piece of resolution from the former administration. The information on here that's citing the Violence Policy Center, that this information that's listed here has already been refuted, and I sent you the information via email. If you go to the Crime Prevention Research Center... Ma'am,
we're going to hold this, so you're welcome to these comments in the future.
Just for the record, if you don't mind, I just want to let, just for the record, you got the information from the Crime Prevention Research Center. John Lott's data completely refutes the information on the Violence Policy Center statistics. This is all bogus information. So thank you for holding it. You're doing the right thing. And not only that, you also got in the email when they did a survey, policeone.com, okay? The largest private association of police officers in the United States with over 425,000 members. They did a survey of its members last April, and they found strong support for concealed carry. When asked, quote, do you support the concealed carry of firearms by civilians who have not been convicted of a felony and or have not been deemed psychologically or medically incapable? About 91% of those officers said yes, without question or without further restrictions. If anything, a concealed carry holder would be an asset to an officer that's on scene to protect children. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion to hold until September 5th, please?
Make a motion to hold till September 5th at the request of the sponsor.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The time is now, 7:53, and Health, Education, and Welfare Committee is closed.
What's next? It's not me.
Councilman Crowley?
What's next?
You're next.
The time is now 7:53. Ordinance Committee is now open. May I have a motion for acceptance of the minutes for April 23rd?
Motion to accept.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. May I have a motion for the acceptance of the minutes of May 7th?
Motion to accept.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The only item on the agenda is PCO 18-15, Neighborhood Improvement Program, an ordinance that will make landlords responsible for the costs and pick up debris left on the street by tenants. Councilman Lattiser, Councilwoman Travis. It says it's not drafted.
Hold till August 20th. 15th, sorry.
I have a motion to hold till the 15th. I have a second?
Yes.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. Time is 7:54. Ordinance Committee is now closed.
Okay, I'll leave. I'll leave. I'm back, I guess.
Is this?
Okay, thank you.
We're doing public safety, right? It's public safety.
Yeah, he gave me that. Okay, yeah. Public safety is now open at 7:56. First, we have acceptance of minutes from committee meeting held on June 18th.
Move to accept.
All in favor?
Aye. Madam Chair?
Yes.
You gotta do one more.
Okay.
Oh, I have questions.
Here's the other one.
I have one.
I only have one, 18. Oh, please.
Oh, are we doing?
No, when, yeah. Okay,
On the public safety agenda.
all right. So, okay, we got acceptance of minutes from June 4th.
Motion approved?
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the, June 18th, that's not the one I just did, is it? Okay, so it was on the other paper, okay. All right, so we're gonna move into, PCR 113-18, resolutions relative to claims.
Madam Chairwoman?
Yes,
There is a constituent here, a claimant here with a young child. I ask that she be moved to the top of the docket.
that's fine. Could you come up and state your name? We have a lot of claims, and I apologize because we're so late, but as you could see, we had a lot of business today.
Yes, hi, good evening. My name is Brienne St. Martin. Thank you for expediting us.
Oh, you were first.
You were the first one in France.
He just wanted the extra points for getting you to come up first.
All righty. So, now we're gonna turn to the claims. Let me just find them. I thought I had them open. Okay, well, you could tell us what, your story.
Oh, my memory is failing me now because I'm nervous, but it's the road that's parallel to Main Ave behind the airport. There's a pothole that just got bigger exponentially, and my front driver's side tire hit it. And I submitted the information to have it reimbursed.
So this was a pothole on Stevens Avenue?
Yes.
Stevens Avenue.
Thank you.
Okay. And have you drove by there again? Has it been fixed?
It was fixed about 3 days after my claim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions? Councilman McAllister?
Thank you. Yes, I called in this pothole, the Stevens Avenue in that area back there. It's a landmine, so I make a motion to approve.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Well, we
so
didn't-
they approved the claim for $150.33.
Excellent.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Okay, good night.
Sorry you had to wait so long. All right, 3-0, that was approved for $150.33. All right, next we have Diane Soma. When you come to the podium, please state your name.
Diane Soma.
Okay, speak right into the mic.
Diane Soma.
Okay, and this was a pothole on Baywood Street?
There's quite a few potholes on Baywood Street. I have pictures of, they're huge.
Okay, just tell us what happened.
I was driving down the road trying to avoid and hit one of them because there's so many of them, and my tire blew.
Okay. Any questions?
No questions.
Any questions from the committee? Any questions from council people? Any questions from the public? They did approve it, the claim, for $253.25.
Thank you.
Motion to approve for $253.25.
Second.
I've never done this before. Can you tell me what happens after?
The clerk's office will be notifying
Will
you.
mail a check?
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You did it, right?
Yes, I did.
3, 7. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next we have Marshall and Charles Sadie, is it Sadie? Sati. I can't do it. Just state your name.
Marcia Sadie.
Okay. And this is a pothole on Love Lane.
Yes.
We all know Love Lane, okay. So what happened?
I was driving south on Love Lane, and around house number 345, my front right tire went into a large pothole, and it blew the tire out, and I had to have it replaced.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? Any questions from council? They did approve it for $121.68.
Motion to approve for 121.68.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
120, would they just come up with that number? Hey, where did that come from?
Right here, 121.68, that's the amount that they...
Because the other one was just the
Google
tire.
page. Am I doing it right?
Yeah. That was
Yeah, but
one-
how come
that
I
was-
just see it over here?
I think it's because the other one was just
looking
a
at the
tire.
approval.
So
Oh,
it's tire
okay.
plus a thing, so that's why they added this.
All right, so approved, and it was 3, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Where's that one that you told me I gotta hold? Okay. All right, I'll circle it so when I get to it. All right. Edward Angel?
My name is Deborah Fordham. I'm the legal guardian of Edward Angel.
Yep.
He is currently inpatient, Spalding Rehab in Cambridge, Mass. I called the city clerk's office, and they stated that I should come in.
On his behalf?
On his behalf.
Yes.
I do have a certificate of appointment if you need a copy of that.
Yeah, we can look at it, just to make, we asked her to bring the certificate in to say that she was a guidance, you know.
I was also a passenger at the time that the 2 tires blew, so if you have any questions, I probably can answer them for you.
Okay, so this, where the pothole took place on?
It was right in front of the old Kent Regency. I think it's Commonwealth. Is it Commonwealth Ave?
Ripple Road, Leo Ripple Road.
I know he had provided some pictures. The following morning, he went back, and there was rather large cones that were placed in and around the area. And I think from the pictures, if you do have them there, it shows that we weren't able to avoid the whole unless we had gone into incoming traffic. And he did lose the 2 tires, the right front and the right back.
Madam Chair, the department did recommend approval of this claim for the maximum allowable amount under law is $300.
Yes, and you can see that hole.
Yeah,
The
it's a massive
terrible.
hole. Yeah.
I make a motion to pay the claim at the maximum allowable amount of $300.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Approved. 3, 7. Okay. Now, next we have, no, that's not in order. How come? No, I got it. Gary. No. Yeah, he emailed us that he couldn't be here, so it's better than approval. I don't know if you still want to just pass it.
I'm fine with
it. You okay with that?
Stuff, I mean, people sat in the whole time, you know, if we wanted to show up, you gotta be.
All right. So next was Gary Bucco, and he did email us that he could not be here, so we will.
I make a motion to hold until August 15th.
Do I have a
Second.
20, and 19 and 20.
I think we're on 117.
I thought we did 118.
117, 18.
And this is for August 15th. So, okay, so that claim will be held till August 15th. It has a new number, PCR 117-18. How do you say that one? Manuel Santino?
Centillo?
Manuel Santino?
You got to tell me how I did on that name. Did I do it right?
Because I would do terrible. Just state your name.
My name is Manuel Centillo.
She says it better.
I'm here today because they're still, up until today, there's still quite a lot of potholes towards the entrance of my driveway.
And this is Crestwood Road?
Crestwood Road, yes. And so my vehicle apparently struck the side of one of the potholes and sustained damages to the wheels and the tires. And that's why I'm here today. There's quite, at the time, there were quite a lot of potholes towards the entrance to the point where at times I had to detour around Dexterdale Road to get to my driveway.
But what is that?
And 3 days later, they went in and patched the potholes, but apparently that's been a temporary job, and that's been the case since I've moved into the property, and up until today, I have pictures. The roads are in very poor condition. I can't drive. To get to my driveway, I can't safely drive on the right side of the road, and if a car is coming on the left, I have to wait and then maneuver around, and so that's why I'm here today.
Wow. That's too bad to hear. That's sad. Okay, do we have any questions from anybody, from the committee?
Madam Chairwoman, for the record, I'd like to say that the department recommends approval of this claim for $249.99, and I would also like to say that I'll forward this, or we will forward this to the council, therefore also to DPW, see if we can get some of that fixed, because the pictures, I think, are a lot of proof right there, and your testimony definitely adds to it.
I'll second his motion of approval.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next, we got Victor Santos. Is Victor Santos here?
I'll make a motion to hold to the August meeting.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Being held.
118, 18.
Now this has become PCR 118-18. Next we have Jeff Sweet. Just state your name. I know this.
Jeff Sweet.
And this happened on Sandy Lane?
Sandy Lane approaching into the library.
Right near the library?
Right.
I mean, I'm always at the library. That's you. It could be either one of us. It's mine, but.
Were you coming from the Warwick Ave?
I was coming from west towards east. I usually come the other way and go in. There was a bunch of potholes. They covered them. So then I came in the other way, coming from east, west, from my mother's house.
Yes, sir.
And pulled in, and then I just had ball joints put on both sides from other holes, but I didn't do nothing about it.
Right.
So I pulled in there, and my steering, I got a lot of planer steering, so I took it to Leo's on Elmwood Avenue, and they put new rods on. So now I got to take it back because I'm still getting the play in it. So he's got to do the adjustment. But this hole's all over.
Yeah.
I mean, real deep holes.
Agreed. So for the recommended, this claim was recommended approval for 146.41.
Excuse me?
This was
Tim, no.
What's that?
Mr. Sweet.
Mr. Sweet is a denial.
Oh, I apologize. Give me 1 second. It's stuck again.
Okay, department denies responsibility for any repairs to this claimant's vehicle. The claimant states that he was turning into the library on Sandy Lane where there has been no complaint of potholes. As well, per Rhode Island general law, the claim must be filled within 7 days, whereas the claim was not submitted until nearly a month after the incident on June 25th, 2018.
Well, I've had a lot of deaths. My father just died. Then my friend, they found him in a van dead. He was an alcoholic. And I'm going through a lot of, my brother died, a lot of people, so I'm going through a lot of stuff right now. I have to hang by myself because all my friends are on drugs, and I don't want that lifestyle no more, so I had to cut them off. So I only got me, and I only got my car. And, you know, I enjoy driving my car, and like I said, there's a lot of potholes. I hit a lot of potholes. My car's still squeaking here and there. So,
Are you sure it was right near the library? That's the question I have.
I told the lady at the library, because she knows I go there, I get documents all the time, because I like to learn new things. So I'm constantly in there, like every 3 days. And I told her,